not a big deal.
We'll get started in just a minute, but this the last call for the 50-50 tickets, so if anyone has not gotten the 50-50, please do so now so that we can close it out, because that's going to be a nice little donation for later in the evening. So buy them now, buy them often, buy a lot of them, and hopefully whoever wins will be very happy with the half that they get, okay? So in another minute or so we'll get started. Thank you. Quiet down so we'll be able to see everything. Alright, good. Can everyone hear me in the back? Is this okay? Not too loud? Larry, what do you think? Getting a thumbs up or what? Alright. My name is Todd Castine. I'm Lodge President for 462 Woodmen of the World. I want to welcome everyone here this evening. I want to thank you for coming out. I've been here since 4:30, so I really don't know what the weather's like right now, but it's probably better than what we were expecting. So, is anyone disappointed that we didn't get the snow? No. I know my wife was a little disappointed. She was. She's been talking about it all week. I hope we get a little more. Talk. Well, I want to welcome everyone to the annual banquet for this year, and we're going to hopefully get through the program in a timely fashion. We're going to have a good meal. We're going to have some good conversation. We're probably going to hear with at least 3, 4, 5, 6 Castines in here, so there's going to be a little bit of BS as well. So I want to, one, welcome everyone and thank you for being here. This is a very good event that we look forward to every year. We look forward to having all of you here as members of Woodmen of the World. And we also take a lot of pride in the fact that we can bring the community together, not just this community, but communities across the county. Get together this evening and talk about the good things that people in the community do, good things that Woodmen of the World do, and we're very happy to have this opportunity to just share it with folks who are doing some very, very nice things here in the community. So hopefully all of you have got a program. What I want to do first is I want to invite Dale Gagnon and Tim Gagnon up for just a moment. They are area managers for Woodmen of the World, and they're going to just acknowledge some of the field force that are here, because without the field force, without the cooperation of everyone coming together, we wouldn't be here this evening. So let's take a moment to welcome those two gentlemen up.
Hi, I'm Dale, and our office is in Plattsburgh at 24 Market Street, and we cover from Albany to Rogers Point, west to Watertown, so we got a big area. And I have 2 field reps here, David Rabideau and John Christie. So, feel free to call us with any questions you have about your certificates, and hopefully we can take care of it. So thank you.
And I'm Tim Gagnon. I think we're related. And actually, middle of last year, I became an area manager and took over trying to grow Vermont. So we're working on building a field force over there, and eventually moving into New Hampshire and Maine. So we're growing, and I have one of my field reps here tonight, and that's Bob Cole. And like Dale said, we're always here to help. So, thank you.
Just one other thing, if any of you people, know anybody that's like a fabulous career, we're always looking for, new field reps and managers. So feel free to call us. Thank you.
All right, before we get started with what I think is the most important part of the evening, and that's acknowledging some of the folks that we have asked to come here tonight to present them with some awards, I want to just acknowledge some of the people that are actually here. We've got some folks that are visiting that will also probably be making a few statements a little bit later, but Larry Barcombe is here. Larry's going to say a few words a little later on. He's also with the Board of Education for BOCES, or what's that? No more yet. What's that?
Representative for the town.
There we go, representative of the town board, but he does all sorts of things all over the community, we know that. We've got Father Del Bell, who will say a prayer for us in a little bit, so thank you, Father. Kyle and Darcy Castine are here, and they'll be mentioning what's going on with the food shelf this year. We've got Norm and Jackie Wyatt. They came all the way down from all the way down from Glens Falls. They're members I guess they're members at large, because every time you see them, they're at a different location, at a different activity, doing something nice, doing something different. Norm spends a huge amount of time at the youth camp over in Vermont. So much time that he's got his own room over there. He's got his name, I think, on one of the buildings. He does a lot of cooking. I know he likes Sweet Baby Ray's barbecue sauce for some of the cooking that he does. But he does a fabulous job and gives so much to the camp experience and to the kids. So I'd like to say hi to his wife over there in the corner. Welcome. And then we've got the members of the lodge that are at the meetings every month after month after month. And those folks that actively participate and help keep things running in between all of the events that we put together. So you've got Mike and Jeannie Bushy. If you could just kind of raise your hands or wave at folks. Amy House is not here this evening, but she is a huge force behind a lot of what we do. Dale Ann and Steve Walter are here. Our past president, Linda Ganya Horn, and her husband Mike Horn. My right-hand man, who actually keeps me organized, because most folks know I'm not very organized. I talk a lot, but I can't organize a thing. So Tim Ganya, thank you very much for everything that you do. And we've got our former citizen of the year here, Chris Champlain, who was our person that we acknowledged last year. So Chris, where are you? Way back. So again, I want to thank all of you for being here. I want to thank everyone for their contributions, the help, the things that keep us going, because we are a fraternal organization that depends heavily on the assistance. Oh, Dave and his wife, I'm sorry. You guys, welcome. Thank you. So it's the help of everyone involved that keeps what we do going, active, and fresh every day. We had someone who was going to be a guest this evening, and that was our new fraternal coordinator, Danielle Lynn Yanulis, who could not make it due to the long drive and what we were anticipating being bad weather. And so she could not be with us this evening. She wanted to say hi and encourage everyone to work on kind of our Woodmen goals for the year, which are to increase membership and to, increase the involvement in the lodge and involvement in the lodge of the community. And that's a big thing that I want to encourage. People sometimes ask me why do you get involved with Woodmen? Why Woodmen? Why now? That type of question. And the only thing that I can tell everyone here is that it's because it's the right thing to do. There are so many situations that we run into in our daily lives and what goes on with the economy and what happens with natural disasters. It kind of reminds us why it's good to get together, why it's good to rely on one another, and why it's the right thing to do to become involved in an organization like Woodmen of the World. For the last few years, there have been a lot of things that have pulled us together, and we've done a lot of nice activities. This organization, like I said before, brings people together from a variety of communities. A portion of our dues, funds the lodge, which then gives us the funds to do all of the things that we do. So in the last year, we had a great Joint Hands Day activity. It was Hands of Cause, where we put together from scratch, right there on that day, 15 dog houses that were then delivered to 3 needy organizations that cares for animals. So that was one good thing that we did in the last year. We work to provide funding to organizations that are in need. We work to provide funding to individuals that are in need. We make donations to worthy causes. We have worked together with other organizations, including the Kiwanis, to fund the Key Clubs and the K-Kids organizations and groups from schools in Linda, Northeastern Clinton, NAC, what else? Shazy. We've funded the Action Club, which encourages folks with developmental disabilities to actually become active members of the community and learn how to give back and to contribute and to be part of, like we all should be part of. And we work together and we team up to do what everyone should do for each other, and that is to just lend a hand. And so, if anyone's going to ask me why we do it, the only thing that I'm going to tell them is that it's the right thing to do. So I want to keep that in mind as we move forward this evening. I want to thank everyone that's here, and I want to move forward with hopefully what's going to be a very nice evening. So thank you very much. Okay, first on the agenda is our Fraternal Spirit Award. All right, and already I'm seeing a head shaking going, oh my God, I can't believe we're going to be out there. But we can have you hold off for just a second while I actually find the right set of notes. All right. Okay, good. Now, the Fraternal Spirit Award is given to someone that it needs to be considered a prestigious award. It needs to be taken into consideration that if we're acknowledging someone that has fraternal spirit, that means that they go above and beyond and give to their community and give to people a whole lot more than other people. Not because they necessarily like to sometimes, because I know that those of us are busy sometimes go, oh my God, what do I have to do today? But we get up and we do it because it's the right thing to do. And I know from experience being a hockey parent and a hockey coach that the person that's getting this award this year spends countless hours giving to just that one organization that I can think of right off the bat, and that's Scott's night. I've seen her cleaning bathrooms. I've seen her yelling at her husband to get other things cleaned up and fixed. I've seen her grabbing 5 people that are standing there with their hands in their pockets going, "You 5, let's go get the soda moved inside, and you need to put it from here back down there. You grab garbage bags and go empty the trash cans, please. Someone else needs to mop the floors." And then she also takes the time to organize and get countless other things done in that facility. Now, along with that, she's involved in so many other activities. Member of the school PTO from 1989 to 1999 at West Shazy and Bigmantown. Religious education teacher. Middle school mentor, Clinton County Task Force Against Violence. Shazy Youth Hockey Board. Shared decision-making committee for the Bigmantown Middle School. Compassionate Friends, bereavement group. Angel of Hope Committee. Woodmen member since 2001, United Way campaign, the Scotts Memorial Golf Tournament, and all sorts of different things. This woman brings a lot of energy, sometimes the necessary attitude, and the drive to, Steve's nodding and saying yes, and the level of energy that's needed to keep things going. And so for that reason, we want to acknowledge Dale and Walter with the Fraternal Spirit Award. One more round for Dan. Next, we have a little bit of a different award, but it's the Safe Driver Award. Okay, so every day, rain or shine, throughout the year, we have a group of folks that actually get up every day and do something that not many of us want to do. They want to deal with everyone else's kids. They drive buses and they get kids to and from school safely, day in and day out. And we have 4 individuals this year that Woodmen of the World would like to recognize for their contribution and what they do for keeping our kids safe. And we have folks that have had safe driving records for either 5, 20, 25, or 30 years. Can you imagine having a safe driving record for 30 years? I had trouble making it from one end of town to the other one day without getting 2 tickets. So, in fact, I got pulled over one day right in front of the office, and the quality assurance director just happened to pull out the camera and take pictures. So it was great to have that on the interagency email going across. I got pulled over again. From Shazy Central, I'd like to have Deborah Thomas come up from NAC, Linda Trombley for 20 years, Cindy Rock for 25 years, and Betty Demers for 30 years. And I've heard a lot of people say, wonderful what they've done. Okay, please come up.
You ready?
community helper award or our caring for others award. And, you know, we've got some descriptions of what this individual has done, but also you have to take into consideration that caring for others takes many, many different forms. So it might be, depending on who you are and what you're doing, might be driving someone to medical appointments, or helping deliver hot meals, or being there for other people in the community. And a man that most of us, if we don't know him by name, we know him by sight, because he's many, many places throughout many, many communities. And Bob Cheeseman was a member of the fire department. I understand that he's an honorary member of the fire department now. He was a substitute for many of the after-school programs in the American Red Cross as a volunteer. CDPH volunteer, helping to fix equipment sometimes, that kind of thing. In the Mended Hearts, part of the hospital doing that. Journey into Reading, the Shazy Town Historian, volunteers for a couple of the historical societies involved in historical reenactments. Gets together down at the Shazy Schoolhouse, right? Get dressed up and read folks down there. The Pediatric Brain Tumor Foundation. Bob's a biker. So, along with some of those other rowdy biker folks, at times he's raised up to $7,000 at a time to help the kids with brain tumors. He takes photographs at a lot of the local events. I think he's probably worked with Brenda Gardner on a few events, and I know Brenda well with the work that she does with the ARC, and she's got a lot of very kind words for you in what you do. You've been involved in a lot of the projects and events, and involved in Cheesy for the celebrations this past year. And there are probably a lot more things that can be said about what Bob does, but what I know is that he greets you kindly every time that you see him. You see him at a lot of town events, and some days he's having a good day and he's smiling and he's walking well. Other days he's got his cane, but he's still smiling and he still greets you nicely. And I got to know Bob a little bit better too as he was dropping off, somebody off to the birthday parties that happened at my house with my kids. And so it's always good to see people, to get to know them, to kind of lose track of them, get to know them again, and have other people tell you just what it is that they think they do well in the community. And so I'd like to recognize Bob for what Woodmen considers to be a very worthy thing, and that's caring for others in the community. Now, just before I got started, there was a little bit of an argument over in the other part of the room. And of course, Castaigns had to be involved in it. Because I went over to say hi to Darcy and Kyle, who I actually haven't seen for several years. Last time I think I saw them had to be when, personally, they were taking over my father's old business. It was Carpet King Plus, and then it turned into Castaigns One Touch. And, so I don't know, there's got to be a variety of stories that folks could tell about Kyle. What I'd like to do is, whichever one of you is going to come up and maybe say something about the Morris Food Pantry for a moment, because the donations that you folks have made this evening coming in the door, and the money that you've given, All of that is going to be going to the food pantry this evening, and we know that during hard times, this kind of service is drastically needed. You hear on the news constantly that folks getting help from the Red Cross, folks getting help from food pantries. The numbers are just going up dramatically. So if I could get one of you guys to just come on up for a moment, and maybe, or both of you. I guess not, Kyle. Darcy Castine.
Hi. Good evening. As far as the BS with the Castine, that is my married name. my maiden name is Hamilton. About a year and a half ago, I was getting ready to retire, and I wanted to line up something so I didn't have too much free time. And I saw an article in the Press Republican that talked about the Morris Food Pantry, and it mentioned this 92-year-old woman that had gone to the food pantry and said that she couldn't pay for both her fuel and her food. And at the food pantry they said, don't worry about it, we'll help you with the food, you don't go without food. And I thought that's an organization that I'd like to be involved in. So I have volunteered there for a year and a half, and have been really impressed with the other volunteers there. There are 21 volunteers. No one gets paid. The space and the utilities are provided by the Moore's Wesleyan Church. So all the donations go just for food for families. And the food pantry, it takes care of 8 counties, 8 towns within Clinton County. So there's West Shazy, Rouse's Point, Champlain, Morris, Altona, and Ellenburg. And there's a total of 450 families that come to the food pantry. So they can come every Tuesday from 10 to 12. And it's a great organization. We do receive a small grant from New York State, and we do receive part of the mass distribution that comes into Brandon, New York. Other than that, all the other funds are from donations from yourself, from the community. I know the schools, some of the businesses in the area really help out. So we've definitely seen an increase in need. About 6 months ago, we started offering food every month. In the past, it used to be every other month that they had to wait. So every month now, people receive food. So it's a great organization. I really like the people that work there, and I thank you for your donations tonight of food and money. Appreciate it. Thank you.
Now, we were collecting funds and then collecting money for the 50-50. Jeannie, how much have we gotten for 50-50? $300 each, so half of that will go to the food shelf and half of that will go to the lucky winner. All right, so that's great. So that's an addition to everything that's been gathered and will be brought out at the end of the night. So I want to thank everyone for the generosity in that regard. We'll do the drawing right towards the end in just a little bit. I want to mention quickly that the environmental award is going to be awarded to Richard House, who's not able to be with us this evening because he's getting ready, I think, for their activity for Ducks Unlimited tomorrow. And so that award is given to someone who does a lot to maintain and preserve the wildlife in the area. And, there's a lot that goes into it. We've got some wonderful areas here around the North Country that really need to be either preserved, maintained, or maybe even made a little bit better depending on what's happening. And from what I'm told, Richard does a huge amount to actually help in that regard. So his reward, his award, will be presented to him tomorrow evening at the Ducks Unlimited gathering that's occurring. So we can take a minute and just acknowledge. Okay, to break this up, make it a little bit more interesting, and also feed us because we're very hungry, I'd like to invite Father Delbell up for just a moment so that he can do our prayer. And then, did you say a short one? Short or long, it's your choice. Okay.
Almighty God, our Father, we thank you for gathering us together this evening. We thank you also for all the work that are done in all our communities. We thank you for this privilege we are about to receive from your body. We thank you in the name of Jesus.
Amen. Thank you. In just a minute, the folks here helping us out this evening will let us know how we want to proceed with dinner. And let's enjoy. We'll get back together for a little bit of fun and discussion in just a little while. Thank you. So this is going to be your award in just a few minutes. A couple of things, a couple of announcements. Something that I thought about while we were on break. One, talking about teaming up with other organizations and things. We've done so many things with the Kiwanis over the last 2 years. And Ross's Point Champlain Kiwanis is hosting a chicken and biscuit dinner tomorrow night here, right? From 3 to 7. Takeouts are available, so we've got adults are $8, children 5 up for $5, and supposed to mention the cook is Jeanette Turner. So folks are available and can support the Kiwanis and their dinner tomorrow night. That would be very much appreciated. I was sitting there thinking during dinner that the entire literacy volunteers team for the literacy challenge this year is actually here this evening. We actually took 4th place. I don't know if anyone knows exactly what that is. We donated $300, I think it was, to be part of it was a Jeopardy style format where they ask a lot of quiz questions and then we buzz in to answer the questions. As I said, we took 4th place. We were lucky we stayed in it due to a lack of teams and double elimination. I was yelled at several times, I won't mention by who, to stop buzzing in. Stop buzzing in. But it was nice. We took 4th place, which was actually good. The doctors beat us. But I was happy to see that we actually buzzed in and beat them on 2 medical questions. So the quiz master actually looked at them like, what are you guys doing? So I thought that would be nice to mention. All right, as we move forward here for the evening, nothing more can be said other than the fact that the next individual that we're about to honor is exceptional. It takes a special person, it takes someone that when a selfless act is displayed, when someone without regard for their own safety actually puts their own safety aside in order to help someone else, you're talking about a person with exceptional caliber. And it was around the first week in August in Lunenburg when this individual, after a storm and what was an exceptional flood, saw a mother and daughter that needed assistance. It's my understanding that these 2 people were trapped next to their camper, holding onto their car, and that they were literally going to be pulled over a set of falls. This person jumped into the water, helped get these 2 people out of the water into safety, and basically, without exception, saved their lives. The quote on the award itself says it the most. Heroes are those who rise to the occasion and then quietly slip away. Okay, and so for that reason, we're going to honor Mr. Eric LaValle for the Lifesaver Award 2019. Everyone that I've spoken to, everyone that I've spoken to who knows Eric or who sees him in the past has mentioned the same thing. Nice, quiet, unassuming guy. Does what he needs to do, helps out a lot of people, and makes contributions in his own way. That's an exceptional citizen. So, thank you again, Eric. Now, for the last honor of the evening, I'm going to change up the how the order is here in the book by just a little bit. I'm going to say just a few words. Then we'll have Chris Champlain come up and say his words, and I think I'd like to close out the evening with the resolution from the town of Champlain. And so, without further ado, I'm going to introduce this year's 2011 Woodmen of the World Citizen of the Year. And this is an individual that most folks know in one way or another for many different reasons, whether it be what he does here through the Knights of Columbus, okay, or what he does for countless families throughout the year, when through the kindness of his own heart, he comes in, he prepares meals, he gets things ready for families who have lost loved ones. What's ironic about the evening, and it's he's being honored, but he helped prepare his own meal here this evening. which I think exemplifies the character of the man who we're going to say thank you to in just a few minutes. I think I got the first nomination from Calvin to honor John Paul this year, and I think there wasn't a person in our group that did enthusiastically second, third, and fourth the nomination. And so I'm just going to let Chris come up and have his say in regard to what he has to say for a very worthwhile gentleman. And I want to make sure that everyone understands that his contributions are endless. They start in the middle of the day, the beginning of the day, the end of the day. He puts his own time in, his own money, his own efforts, and he's got a great crew here that we want to thank also for the wonderful meal that we've had this year. So. Chris Champlain is going to say a few words about John Paul Tetreault.
I'll be careful what I say. I'm here on two fronts. One, as last year's Citizen of the Year, it was a great honor to have that award. I really do appreciate it. It's a bigger honor though this year to help give this year's Citizen of the Year award to a good friend and neighbor, but it's not going to be free. So I got some notes on you from your family. So John Paul Tetreault, born on October 20th, 1930. 1930, sorry. He's one of three brothers. John Paul left home in 1953 to start his own farm. When he started his business, there was 590,000 dairy farms. Today there's only 54,000. So big difference from back then till today. And I live next to all these guys, and living next to the Tetreaults is like living next to the Cartwrights. You got Big Ben here, and you got the three sons and Haas and Joel's back there and all that kind of good stuff. But the Cartwrights didn't have Gloria. They had Op Sing, but they didn't have Gloria. Gloria thought when we were doing, I guess we had a little bit of trouble here. It's very expensive to keep a building up. And John Paul and Hector and a few people, mostly John Paul, stepped up to the plate. And they said, we're going to start doing dinners like this, funeral dinners, that type of thing. And Gloria got them started. And it worked out pretty well because not only did he cook his dinner for tonight, when they had their 50th anniversary, she had him cooking that dinner too. So for Gloria, not that bad. Just for putting up with John, we got you guys your favorite bottle of wine, Verde. I think that's how you pronounce it. So that's for you. Better than flowers. For John Paul, we had a special wine made, pretty white, from Amazing Grace Vineyards. It's his own special stock. They only made one bottle, just for this night. It's very nice, and it's made with, for you, it's made with piss and vinegar. So. So we have now it's like living next to the Waltons here because now we have a big family. And I'll tell you what, living next to these people is a very big honor. But he has his sons. They have Danny and Kathy, Don and Lorna, Dale and Carol, 4 grandchildren, Amanda, Brett, Brenton, Matthew, and Victoria, who are all here tonight. John Paul, of course, was Grand Knight of Knights of Columbus from 1985 to 1987. He's been a member for over 50 years, so that's a big honor in itself. Board of Directors for St. Mary's for 3 years. Member of the Champlain Federal Credit Union Board for 8 years. Town Councilman for 8 years plus. If I got that right, Larry. And of course, we talked about he cooked for many people, including the fire department, the 3 steeples, and I can't tell you the number of people that have benefited not just from his cooking, but just being here for a funeral or after the funeral and have a place to go. So he's touched many, many people. John says John is still active with the farm, lending his time and support and helping out whenever it's needed. And that's true because, especially we're getting into the season when they start planting, John will be out there for 12, 14, 16 hours still doing field work. One day or a couple days we saw the tractor stop, and I know a lot of us were concerned, and sometimes you got to go out and check on him and say, how's he doing? You go up there and he's got his feet up and he's sleeping. So I don't think the boys pay him by the hour. It says here, John Paul is an avid hockey fan since 1950. So for that, Tammy and I got him a present. That's not their bad, it's good Canadians hockey. Don't like the Canadians. That's the worst team. How'd the Rangers do last night? They were sleeping? Tell you what, I'll keep the Canadians hat, and we'll give you the Rangers hat just for you. One more thing for you. John Paul, it says John Paul can be found on Monday nights. I think you got his call. Keeps vibrating. John Paul can be found on Monday nights and Sunday mornings playing his favorite game of pinochle at the Knights of Columbus. He says there are no friends or family in the cards. And I've seen some pretty nasty card games right in that corner. So. On behalf of the brothers of the Knights of Columbus, Tom Trombley, who's the Grand Knight, we give this award to John Paul Tetreault, Citizen of the Year, and congratulate him on behalf of 3525, April 1st, 2011. And it's a great honor to give this award to someone who's touched many, many lives and he's inspired so many people. So on a serious note, it's a great honor to have you. And last year, the Citizen of the Year was a little shaky, but this year, definitely.
to receive his award from Woodmen World, and a quote like John Quincy Adams: "If your actions inspire others to dream more, learn more, do more, and become more, then you are a leader." And I think we know that there's no better leader for the community than John Paul Tetreault. Larry Marco. Come on, please, sir.
Well, I thank the Woodmen for inviting me here this evening to present this award. I just had an eye surgery 2 days ago, and I can see distance real good now, but I can't see real close. You have to read. This resolution of appreciation to John Paul Tetreault. Whereas the Honorable John Paul Tetreault has been awarded the Woodmen of the World for 2011, and whereas the Honorable John Paul Tetreault is serving as council member since 2002 for the town of Champlain, and whereas these years of service he has served building, highway, grant, and zoning committees, whereas he has contributed much time and work in the accomplishment to the benefit of the residents of the town of Champlain, and whereas his knowledge and experience has benefited not only the town council in making decisions, but also all the town residents. It be therefore resolved that the present town board of the town of Champlain, for the public record, is extending the Honorable John Paul Tetreault a sincere expression of gratitude and appreciation for the many years of service, and it is further resolved that this resolution be spread upon the minutes of this meeting and a copy sent to the Honorable John Paul Tetreault by the clerk, signed by myself and the other 3 board members, and the town clerk's seal on it. I don't wish to congratulate John.
Thank you, Larry. I'd like to extend my thanks to one person that I forgot to point out at the beginning when I was acknowledging a lot of other folks. And that's the man behind the camera over there, Calvin Castine, who's been a member of Woodmen World for many, many years. He contributes to the Woodmen cause in a variety of ways, including sending me all the emails on what I should remember and what I should forget sometimes. And he also keeps me posted on all the interesting things that I should then forward on to my father down in Florida to keep him apprised of everything that's going on up here in the North Country still. So thank you, Calvin, for everything that you do here and with all the other activities that you record and catalog for many, many other people to see. So I want to extend my sincere thanks to all of you this evening for spending the night with us, and to just wish everyone a safe trip home. If you can, Eric, Bob, and John Paul, if you could come see me for just a minute afterward, I would appreciate it. Everyone have a very good night. Thank you for coming. We hope to see you again next year, and please come to the lodge meetings, and please, in any way that you can, contribute to what we try to do, and that's just be active, contributing members of the community. Have a good night. Thanks.
Ten ball.
Velez will shoot the 4 in this corner, I think. And he has good position on the 8 ball. And he sinks the 8. Velez will break to start game 3. I think he's shooting the 3. Yep. 6 ball in the corner. Has position on the 7. And position on the 5, and he could end up running the table. Position on the 8. And Velez stakes. Takes it 3-0. Okay, I was studying the sheet here to see who was wearing what. And we went back to the winner's bracket. It's Kevin Ketz and Sean Martin. Neither of which is lost there, I think. Sean Martin defeated Maury Cotter, and they defeated Bill Barnaby. Ketz defeated Phil Seaver and Stubby Kilburn. Ketz is the defending champion. Bring the 3 ball back, and he does. 4 on the side. Probably going to go to 7 right now. No, he's going to go for the 2. And hide himself on the 7. But he might have the angle for the 5 on the side. You can also see the 6. As expected, he's going to go for the 5 on the side. And make it. And can he come off the bank and get it? I think he can. They come out enough for the 6. He barely has a 90-degree angle. And barely slide it in there. No. Didn't slice it enough. Seaver shooting the 14. Excuse me, Martin shooting the 14. Looking at the 11. Going for the 12 now.
Yeah.
15, of course, is going to pose a problem. He might try to bring that 15 out of here now, but he has to make contact with the bank after the shot if he doesn't make it. Instead, he's going for the 9. Nudges the 15, but not enough to see the pocket. Probably what he'd like to do is hit that 15 enough to hide the cue ball behind it without putting that 8 ball in. Oh, or another possibility is to make the 15. I hadn't thought of that. Once again, the angle up here didn't show us that he could make that shot. But it looks like it was a relatively easy shot, all things considered. He's got the 8 ball in the corner, and he's going to jump out to a 1-0 lead against the defending champion, Ketz. Martin will break. Two ball in the corner didn't happen for Ketz. He doesn't miss a lot, especially ones he should make. One ball in the corner. It's good. Good try. Oh, who's that guy? Who's that guy? That's not Ketz. Six in the corner.